While your clothes determine your outside appearance and characteristic, it's your voice that really determines the kind of personality, the kind of character you are. Because with an outside appearance like this, if I were to start my speech and say, "Hey, what is going on, Baba?" See, you won't take me seriously. Right? That's the power of vocal variety and your voice. Your voice, technically speaking, I'm not getting into the larynx and the esophagus of biology and everything else. Your voice technically is a muscle, like any other muscle. The more you exercise, the more stronger it becomes. And that becomes your distinct trademark. Right? If I say Amitabh Bachchan, S.P. Balasubramanian, K.J. Yesudas, Lata Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle, Mohammad Rafi, Kishore Kumar, R.D. Burman, did or did not their voices play inside your head right here, right now? That's the power of the voice. Regardless of whether they will be with us or not with us, touch wood, I want them to continue to be with us. Their voice will remain forever as their distinct identities. Right? So, I'm here to share about some techniques of vocal variety and little bit of exercises. Let's divide this session into two sessions, part one, but little bit of aspects and techniques of vocal variety and some exercises that I can share with you, and you can connect with me later. Do you have a marker? Okay. Let me break down the aspects and techniques into a memorable model for you to take back home today. Okay? First is pitch. Pitch technically is nothing but the rate of vibrations of your vocal cords. Technically. But pitch determines your unique stamp, like your unique fingerprint, the tone of your voice, the characteristic of your voice with which people can recognize. How many of you have very close friends that when you call each other up, you don't identify each other up and say hello, and you know it's the other person on the side, right? That's the pitch of your voice, correct? So pitch basically can be high, can be low, can be used effectively to make an impactful statement. You can raise your voice, or you can go soft and touch your sensitive aspects. While I raised my voice, everybody in the room heard. When I went soft also, I'm sure people on the last as well heard it. Right? That's pitch. Then comes inflection or intonation. Inflection or intonation is the variation in the tone of your voice which will actually convey an emotion. Like when you're preparing speeches, if you were to write that I felt angry, I felt frustrated, dejected, and all those kind of emotions, they sound good in writing, but if you want to convey it while delivering using your voice, inflection helps. Inflection can be upward inflection or downward inflection. I'll give you an example. Johnny. It's a name, right? Normal tone. Johnny! Johnny! Somebody say hello. Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Upward?
Hello.
Downward?
Hello.
Got the difference? Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. What are you doing? Right? So when the way I deliver what are you doing, I just delivered 2 lines worth of script with that simple intonation, inflection. Got that? The next is the quality of your voice. The quality of your voice is basically, is determined by the way you breathe and you deliver it. It can be very nasal, very monotonous. I am very excited to share with you today. I am going to tell a very exciting story. How many of you got really excited that I am going to tell an exciting story? Right? That's the quality of your voice. Okay? And then comes the important aspect, articulation. Articulation is how clearly, legibly you are able to pronounce and say something that exactly the way you wanted it to be understood, people exactly perceive it the way you want it to be understood. You don't go slushy, what I wanted to say today is like, or you don't go open mouth. Open mouth many times people misunderstand as ah. No, I don't have to open my mouth to be open mouth. Did anybody see my mouth open? Right? Articulate, be clear. Right? Basically, the sound that we produce, the music is derived from the sound that we produce. Isn't it? So every sound that you produce while delivering a speech or while you're on stage or while talking is like a musical notation. It has to be picked up at the right spot. It has to be carried forward all the way for all the words or alphabets that are there in that word and left in the end as a landing note, as we call in the music. Right? So that is articulation. Be very concise, be very clear. Okay? Clarity. Obviously, when there is articulation, there has to be clarity. Right? Many a times we see commonly misspelled or mispronounced words. Just, asked. Isn't it? That's the power of clarity. You got to be very clear. When you say, I asked him, did you ask him or did you ask him? Ask him. Right? Very commonly people, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, sometimes due to NTI, native tongue influence, you can't help it. But it can be overcome. When you learn to say asked for asked, you can also learn to say asked for asked. Can you not? That's clarity, right? Pick up note, landing note, a word, temperature. Don't just rush through to say the next word and the next word. Don't just go forward thinking when you're delivering something. Right? You got to maintain clarity, stay on the word, linger through it, start to finish, and then move on, and then move on. Because when you do that, you are not only carrying your words along with you and make a masterful impact, at the same time, you are carrying the audience also along with you. Right? This is timing, which is the rate of your speech. Fast, slow, right? I'm sure everybody would have had one or two examples of your lecturers from school or college who belong to all of these categories, right? There was I clearly remember a chemistry lecturer of ours called Suresh Shiravat. He would start off the class like this. In the last class we studied about the chemical chain reactions of whatever. Let's suppose if we take hydrosulfuric acid and mix it with chlorine, it'll suddenly go off like that. And this class used to be between 2 and 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Invariably everybody would fall asleep and he would say, let's suppose 3 people would wake up and he would pick one and say, go wash your face and come back. So, right? You're getting what I'm saying? So that is the pitch of your voice. And obviously there will be somebody who stays rooted, you would have noticed, and goes on and on and on and on. Not only monotonous body language, but monotonous vocal variety as well. Especially if you remember calculus and trigonometry lectures, right? Sin theta by cos theta is equal to tan theta. I have still not used it in my life. So basically, to summarize, PIQ, act, pick and act. You can remember it. Pitch, I for intonation, inflection, Q for of your voice, A for articulation, C for clarity, and T timing. Okay, let's do 1 or 2 exercises. We're doing good on time, right? Okay. I want all of you to place your hands gently on your neck. Don't strangle yourself. This is not the venue. Okay? And I want you to gently say, Did you feel the vibrations? Don't take the hand off you. Did you feel the vibrations? Can you slowly raise the volume of the ah to as much as you can comfortably? Beyond the point, you'll start coughing. That's how loud you can be. Did you notice that? Have you ever been that loud? Especially while giving speech. Of course, when somebody cuts you off on the wrong side or puts a left indicator and turns right, your real vocal variety comes out. But that's not what we are talking about. What we are talking about is here on stage when you deliver a speech, when you prepare and deliver a speech. Right? So that's how loud you can be. Right? And open mouth. Open mouth is not opening your mouth. No. Open mouth is here. Throat. Deep throated. Okay? When you make that, I don't know what it is called, touch larynx or larynx, I think. Touch that chord. That is when, through breathing, that is when sound comes out. Right? So when you slowly control that and speak in a manner, it sounds natural and unique. Sometimes you can control your breath and make longer sentences also when you are wanting to make a big impact. Or you want to say something very touching that you want everybody to get emotional about. Or you want to show aggression. I am going to not keep quiet about this and do something about it. Open mouth. Did anybody notice my lips moved? Ah, ee, oo? No, but the point is made, right? So that can be controlled, and make sure when you are speaking, your lips also move along. Many times what happens is people don't move their lips and the lower jaw. Thereby they sound like this. I am not going to keep quiet and I am going to do something about it. Boss, please be so constipated. Right? When you move this, the lips and the lower jaw, the sounds that you produce sound natural and comes out. One more exercise. E-O, E-O, E-O.
E-O, 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 E-O.
Somebody will come, there's ambulance coming in the room. Okay, did you notice the lip movement? The lower lip and the lower jaw movement? Right? There are a lot of other exercises also. Try blee blah. Blee blah.
Blee blah.
Blee blah. The tongue also touches the roof of your mouth and then.
Blee blah, blee blah.
Correct? It clears up your throat. It clears up your throat mucus and makes your voice clear. Correct? Right? So some exercises for vocal variety and improve your voice. Drink more water. Avoid as much as possible. Avoid smoking. I had history saying Kishore Kumar was fond of pan, and he would carry a box of pan in his hand at all times because the betel leaf and the betel nut combination of India keeps the throat mucus clean. That's why when he says, "O Sathi Re," you just have to close your eyes and imagine that and get lost in the world that he wants to take you. Right? So keep your throat very clear, especially before giving speech or something like that. Two things to avoid. I learned it while I practiced singing also. Avoid milk and milk products like chocolate, paneer and all those things half an hour, 1 hour before the speech. It creates throat mucus. And when you create throat mucus, what happens is when you make a clear important point and you mumble on those last word or a punchline or a key word, your message gets lost. Doesn't it? It will not create the impact that you wanted it to create. Correct? So then obviously nothing better like breathing exercises like pranayama. Right? One last exercise before I close my session. Hold your hand neck again and say hum. Keep going as much as you can. See, somebody coughed. That was your threshold. Got it? Got it? That expands your lung power. The more lung power you have, the more breath you can take in, and the more breath you can take in, the more breath you can sustain. The more breath you can sustain, the more you can go on and on by giving speech without having to cough or drink water in between or get tired and lose your focus and lose the train of thought. Right? Alright, there comes the red card. Thank you very much.